So we're going to look at the basics of the Revolve tool, which is this tool up here. I'm going to click on Sketch, create a new sketch on, let's go with the front plane, click N or our part up here to go normal 2, and then we're going to just start with a simple line. So I'm going to click from here, drag it down, click again, and I'm going to dimension this with D, and I'm going to make this, say, 100 millimeters. We can still see that these are blue, which is not ideal. We want them to be black as well. And to do this, I can click on this line and I can click on midpoint up here. And that's basically going to allow me to then click on my origin. And now it knows that we are symmetrical from here to here and from here to here because it is about the midpoint. Press escape, drag this to make it a little bit neater. And then for our revolve, I'm going to use a simple spline tool. So I'm going to click here, 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 and here, just to make a random shape. Press escape, and that's going to make that solid. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. I'm going to move these points around. Wow, that's going crazy. That's not what we want. Drag that out. Move this up a little bit, like so. Move this up as well. There we go, that's a bit better. I'm also, just for the sake of this, going to use a 3-point arc and just add a little section in here, like so. So we've got a random shape. We've got this axis that we can use for this line. So when I go and click on Revolve, what we can see is it asks for the face of the sketch. So if I take that away, currently nothing is selected, but I could select that part and we've now got this face selected. And I could also add in this part. We've got both faces selected. Okay, I'm going to take away the second one. We also want to choose the revolve axis. So I'm going to click on here and I'm going to click on this axis like so. And what you can see, it's automatically done a full revolve for me. So if I move around, you can see that it has turned this into a solid shape. It's not completely solid though, because if I go in one direction, you can see that it's actually left this hollow part in the middle because I didn't select that section, okay, which is quite useful to know. We could have done this symmetrical, 2 directions, whatever you want to do. You can revolve things a certain distance. So I could make this, say, 240 degrees, and that is now revolved at that point. So if I was to go back, let's just take away that revolve axis and edit these, and let's say we want to add that as well, make my revolve axis the same line there. You can now see that is a solid part. Okay, so I can green tick that, and I have revolved that a certain distance, which is quite nice. I can go back into my revolve, and if I wanted to make this just a surface, I can get rid of these faces, and I can choose the surface tool, or the surface selection, sorry, and I can click on just this outside line. And now what you can see is that is just a hollow part that I am revolving around the outside, okay, which can be quite useful. It's only going to be new because we're not adding to anything, but that is the basics of the Revolve tool. Green tick it if you so wish. You need to make sure that you've got the selected part, and then you are finished with a revolve of that part. Why is this blue? This is blue because I did not dimension these parts here, okay, which is quite useful. When you're dimensioning a spline, it's very, very complex to dimension it. It's not very complex. You've got to. It takes a bit of time, basically. The arc would be a little bit easier. I could have just made that, say, 25 millimeters, and I could make sure that this line from here to here is, say, 30 millimeters, and this line from here to here is, say, 20 millimeters. And we now have black constraints for there, like so. This, for our spline, I'll do that in another video.